What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Jose Show. Happy Wednesday. I hope that everyone is enjoying their lovely day. But anywho, let's get into the hot topic, shall we? Now let's talk about Barry Keoghan and Sabrina Carpenter. So Barry Keoghan is focusing on his job in the wake of his split from Sabrina Carpenter, shooting movie scenes in downtown Los Angeles after news of their breakup. So the Irish actor was spotted on the set of Crime 101, rocking platinum blonde hair for some scenes at a Denny's, the first time we've seen Barry since the split. Alright, so Barry appeared to have a motorcycle helmet and jacket in hand as he walked into the store as cameras were rolling. The thriller is due out next year, and his co-stars include Halle Berry, Chris Hemsworth, and Nick Nolte. Alright, so as we all know, Barry and Sabrina have decided to go their separate ways after dating for about a year. Okay, so this is really insane that Barry Keoghan is focusing on his job shortly after a split, because I believe that it's so hard having to focus on your own job and having to focus on other things, especially right after a split, because the first thing that you think right after a split with the person is about the person and about the split. But I think that Barry Keoghan had this thing in his head where he was all like, you know what? There are many other girls out there that I can meet. There are many other girls out there that I can date. And it's no big deal. And I believe that he also had this thing in his head where he was all like, well, you know what? This movie that I'm going to be in, or that I'm already in, is paying my bills, and this split with this girl is not paying my bills at all. So I have to look at the positives. So anywho, there's also that. And I also think that this guy, Barry Keoghan, is, you know, that kind of person that is basically very positive all the time. Because I haven't heard anything negative about this guy at all, and I haven't heard anything ridiculous about this guy at all, if I'm not mistaken. You know, and I believe that maybe Barry Keoghan got to accept the fact that, you know, there was kind of a huge age gap in between him and Sabrina Carpenter, because let's remember that Barry Keoghan is 32 years old and Sabrina Carpenter is only 25 years old. And you know, when there is that 7-year age gap, it's kind of complicated to be having that understanding in between a couple, because when there is that huge age gap, unfortunately, there isn't that much mutuality in between. So I believe that is something that Sabrina Carpenter and Barry Keoghan were noticing. And I believe that they also noticed that the both of them were just, you know, too busy for each other anyways, because I believe that that could have also been the reason to why they ended up splitting after all. Because let's remember that Barry Keoghan is a very busy movie actor, while Sabrina Carpenter, of course, is a very successful pop star, especially now that she's been having a lot of success with her recent album, Short and Sweet. Okay, so that's the reason to why I think that this whole entire split happened, but I really am hoping and I really am wishing the best for the both of them now that they have gone their separate ways. And, you know, there's just this thing that at times, you know, you're not gonna really get what you want. You're not gonna really get what you expect from the person. And, you know, life basically works in mysterious ways after all. You know, I mean, life worked in mysterious ways with me. I mean, I have never dated anybody, but, you know, I have crushed on people here and there. And, you know, I would be like, oh my God, me and this person are going to be a thing one day. And then unfortunately, things turned out to be a different way after all, because this person was all like, nah, I don't want to have anything to do with you. I want to do something else with someone else. And I really am into someone else because this person is more better looking than you, and this and that. And it would break my heart immensely, you know. And I would also go through a situation where this person, you know, has, you know, different aspects on life, different points of view, compared to you. And that's exactly what I went through when I was crushing on people here and there. And it would really break my heart to the point that it would affect me mentally, spiritually, and of course physically, because, you know, it's just one of those things where you just want to be with that soulmate already, and you want to have that really good time with that soulmate, and you want that soulmate to have all of the attention of the world towards you, and, you know, to spend all of the time of the world with you. And it's not going on, unfortunately, like expected, you know. So anywho, I really can relate to this whole entire Sabrina Carpenter and Barry Keoghan situation, kind of, because of what I just said right now. Even though with my situation, like I said, I never have dated anybody, and I have never really known what it's like to be dating somebody But like I said, I do know how it feels to be crushing on someone and expecting for that person to have that love for you in return, but in reality, they don't have that love in return for you at all, and they just love somebody else, and it's so freaking heartbreaking after all. But anywho, good luck to these two. Now on to the next topic. Now, let's talk about Lori Harvey, shall we? So, Lori Harvey is jumping on the popular no pants trend, swapping classic bottoms for fishnet tights during a recent outing in Paris, France. Okay, so check it out. Steve Harvey's daughter hit the streets of the City of Light in a black Balenciaga sweatshirt, tan stilettos, and dark fishnets, a particularly revealing look for a December date if you ask us. Well, the model certainly put it all out there with her skimpy ensemble as her designer sweatshirt failed to cover her round rump, which was fully on display in the see-through tights as she climbed into the back of a black SUV. So, the jaw-dropping ensemble wasn't for a fashion event either. The 27-year-old donned the no pants look for a simple lunch outing in the French capital. Looks like Lori took the restaurant's no shirt, no shoes, no service policy literally. Alright, so of course Lori isn't the first celebrity to ditch bottoms as a fashion statement. In fact, just recently Kim Kardashian stunned fans by rocking a white thong bodysuit, heels, and tights for a nighttime e-bike ride. Okay, so other stars who've pulled off the daring style include Bianca Censori, Sydney Sweeney, Julia Fox, Hailey Bieber, Kendall Jenner, Lupita Nyong'o, among others. Okay, so this is really ridiculous that this girl is doing this to herself because we are already heading towards the winter season, and since we are already heading towards the winter season, it's basically getting so freaking cold, which means that she can easily get freaking sick. So what the hell is she thinking? I mean, if she wants to look sexy, there are other ways to look sexy with more clothes on, okay? And by the way, I believe that the reason to why she is doing all of this is because she wants to call attention to all of those men out there that are very thirsty for women like her. Because, I mean, why else would she be wearing less clothes anyways, especially at a freaking restaurant? I mean, it's perfectly fine to be calling attention, yes, but I mean, I believe that it's what's the inside that matters than the outside, because I believe that what Lori Harvey is doing here is she's actually sending out a message that women have to have less clothes out in public in order to attract men and in order to show their beauty, when in reality, I believe that women actually have the beauty inside, and actually real men, real people that love them are actually looking for the beauty that's inside anyways. Let's be honest. And let's also be real here that this is basically the reason to why a lot of people out there slut shame women, okay? And I'm not trying to defend all of these slut shamers out there, but I'm just trying to say the reasons here. Because let's be honest, I mean, having less clothes, especially having a way where people can see your pants, your legs, and having to see almost your crotch area, or having to see your crotch area, is actually pretty insane. That's already going towards a whole different level right there. Okay, so if I were Lori Harvey, I would change my mind when it comes to the style trends, and I would just keep it clean. I would keep it very easy and relax, girl. Just relax. And I'm pretty sure that her father, Steve Harvey, wouldn't be so proud about this woman going out and about with less clothes, because I'm sure that Steve Harvey would be like, honey, what the hell are you doing? You are just making a whole entire fool of yourself. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, OMG. And by the way, I'm not surprised that Bianca Censori and Kim Kardashian and Kendall Jenner are one of the other women out there that have had this little trend of showing off too much of their legs, because I mean, these women are well known for having less clothes anyways. So I also believe that since these women are super famous for having less clothes anyways, I'm pretty sure that's where this girl, Lori Harvey, got the idea of having less clothes. I think that's where she got the idea. Oh my goodness, y'all really are just insane. But anyways, on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Britney Spears, shall we? So Britney Spears is back at it, dancing through her latest drama, sharing some new clips the day after she touched down in Mexico, fresh off her claim she's moving there. So after her birthday Monday and amid her whirlwind trip, Britney's giving her fans a taste of the familiar, serving up some of her eccentric dance moves. So Britney's all decked out in a revealing silver dress as she twirls, snaps, and strikes a series of poses. She even throws in a seductive walk away from the camera for some added allure. So the pop star is serving major eye contact and flashing that smile while vibing to 9-inch nails, making it clear she's having a blast during her Cabo getaway. So despite what she posted on Instagram, Britney hasn't actually moved to Mexico. Sources told us she was just saying quirky things online, and she's actually on a solo birthday trip for a few days. Okay, so this is pretty interesting because I remember that a day before, it was being said by a bunch of sources that Britney Spears had actually moved to Mexico because she was so sick and tired of getting harassed by the freaking paparazzi. And I actually fell for it because I personally do think that Britney Spears is definitely fed up with the freaking paparazzi after all. But it really does make sense now that I'm finding out that Britney Spears actually went to Mexico for a birthday trip, because let's remember that Britney Spears' birthday was just 2 days ago. And by the way, happy belated birthday, Britney. Happy belated birthday. She turned 43 years old actually. And man, she looks better than ever, I have to be honest, because that woman has been exercising, that woman has been active, that woman has been taking really good care of herself. And I applaud that woman after all, because that woman has gone through so much in life because of the fact that she went through a lot with her family being so weird and being so evil towards her, especially during the conservatorship days. And then let's remember that Jamie Lynn Spears talked so much crap about her in one of her books, and basically Britney Spears has been going through so much because of all of that. So that's the reason to why I believe that it's pretty cool that now Britney Spears is now taking really good care of herself despite of all of the chaos. And you know, if Britney Spears ever decides to leave the United States of America permanently, then I actually would applaud her for it, because I am Team Britney on this one. I do believe that Britney Spears deserves to have her freaking privacy and her freaking space after all. After all of the harassment and all of the drama that she's gone through, not just with her family, but also with the paparazzi. Because I myself would definitely feel so freaking harassed and so freaking annoyed big time if I were to be harassed by the paparazzi, if I were to be harassed by anybody else, that I would be like, you know what, screw this, I am out of here. And you know what, if I were to move to a different country, I would move to Canada, I would move to France, but I wouldn't move to Mexico though, because Mexico scares me, like, I have to be honest. But anywho, I would move somewhere safe, and that's that. So anyways, I also believe that if I were Britney Spears, now that these rumors are going on around, I believe that Britney should find herself a new man over in Mexico if she ever decides to move to Mexico permanently. Because Britney Spears, man, I'm sure that she would attract all of those Mexican men out there, because Britney is one hottie, and you know, there are a lot of handsome Mexican men over in Mexico that really can catch Britney Spears' eye. Because if there's one thing that is really beautiful about Mexico, is all of those handsome Mexican men out there that really look like hunks and that really are intelligent and appealing and everything. Okay, I'm just saying. So Britney Spears, you have my support and everything. Okay, now on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Diane Warren, shall we? So Diane Warren ain't about that drama. She's shutting down the Beyonce versus Taylor Swift debate, saying both are icons in their own right, no matter what the polls claim about who's reigning supreme. Okay, so in case you missed it, Billboard crowned Queen Bee as the greatest pop star of the 21st century, and Swifties weren't having it, calling it a total robbery, even though Taylor snagged the number 2 spot. Okay, so but legendary songwriter Diane Warren weighed in Tuesday, saying there's no competition, they're both GOATs in their own way. Alright, so Diane knows what she's talking about. She's worked with both queens and says they're equally awesome. Okay, so no doubt they're both incredible, but this time the spotlight is on Beyonce, because Billboard also skipped over icons like Rihanna and Lady Gaga, focusing on her unmatched music milestones and crowning her with the top honor. But let's be real, coming in as the second greatest pop star of the 21st century is hardly something to pout about. Taylor's still sitting pretty at the top of the game. Okay, so this is really interesting. I believe that Diane Warren is definitely giving a bunch of equalness in between Taylor Swift and Beyonce, because basically what she's trying to say here is that, both queens are awesome, and both queens are highly influential after all, and we should not be saying that one woman is better than the other, okay? And we should also be supporting the fact that they both have massive successes, they both have massive amount of fans especially, and a bunch of other beautiful things. So basically, this is a message saying to all of us that we should not be putting women against each other, and we should actually be putting women, towards together, because I believe that the more that we're putting women towards together as a family, as the top that are sharing the industry together in their successes and everything else, the more that we are actually getting a lot of support towards women out there, that they can do it regardless of what spot they're in, if I'm making sense, because that's basically how it should be. Because honestly, we are just so sick and tired of people putting Beyonce against Taylor Swift and Taylor Swift against Beyonce, and saying, oh my god, well, Taylor Swift is better because she's been breaking records through letters A through Z, and she's been, selling out concerts, and she's been doing this and that and blah blah blah. Or, oh, Beyonce is way better because Beyonce has been in the business longer and this and that. Like, no, I understand that Beyonce has been in the business longer, don't get me wrong, because Beyonce has been in the business for almost 3 decades, and Taylor Swift has only been in the business for 18 years. And of course, Beyonce has had more concerts that she's performed in. She's had, a bunch of Super Bowl gigs, like the one back in 2016 alongside Bruno Mars and Coldplay, for example. And of course, Beyonce has done, of course, many other things. And of course, Beyonce, let's remember that she has won almost 30 Grammys, and she's the most awarded Grammy artist of all time, let's be honest. So there's also that. So basically, yeah, Beyonce has more success and more out there, but yet again, we need to focus on the fact that, yet again, there are a bunch of successes in between both women, okay? There are a bunch of goodness in between both women, regardless of who has more or who has less, So let's focus on that instead of focusing on the superiorities, okay? That's all I have to say about this. Now, on to the next topic. Now, let's talk about a viral moment. So, messy scene at Walmart. Well, a little girl went on an epic tantrum, throwing food all over the place and shattering glass bottles, and it's all on video. So the footage starts with the child picking up food items from the deli and tossing them on the floor, seemingly without any parental supervision. So she works her way down the aisle, leaving a trail of destruction in her path, until a couple older women try to stop her, and a struggle ensues. So the girl breaks free and then goes right back to throwing packaged food on the floor, only this time she stomps on the items. Okay, so Little Debbie packages start flying, and she kicks the display case for good measure, and by this time a crowd has formed, though no one seems to be physically trying to stop her. Okay, so only once she gets to a case of glass bottles filled with sparkling juice is she confronted with the man grabbing her after she's able to break a few of the bottles on the floor, sending glass and juice all over the place. It's unclear where the incident took place. Okay, so this is pretty insane that this girl is over here throwing tantrums at a freaking Walmart. I think that this girl just wants the attention, and I think that this girl also wants all of the things from Walmart, because usually when a child like this is throwing tantrums, they just want attention, they want all of the things from the store, and they just want God knows what else too. And it's just so irritating. But see, I blame the parents, because the parents are over here that are supposed to be taking care of the child, okay? The parents are over here basically to not just take care of the child, but also to raise the child in a more better way. Because if the parents were to be raising the child in a better way, trust me, this child wouldn't be going off throwing tantrums at a freaking Walmart and causing embarrassments. Like Jesus. And also, these parents are pretty sure gonna have to pay for all of the damages for what this girl did, because I believe that Walmart isn't gonna be staying with their arms folded. Or arms crossed. I think that Walmart is gonna be like, nah, these products cost us a bunch of money, so now y'all need to be paying for these products after all. Because it's basically very unfair that they would leave all of the products broken, and then yet again they would end up with less products, all because of a childish, brattish girl that, by the way, isn't even supervised by parents that are basically very irresponsible. Like, wow, I would be so mad if I were to be the freaking employee at Walmart. Oh my goodness. Y'all wouldn't hear the end from me. If I were to be the employee, I would be like, oh my goodness, y'all are gonna have to pay for all of this. Y'all are gonna have to basically take huge responsibility for all of this, and also for the girl that y'all have procreated, okay? Like, come on now. And also, I mean, why couldn't they put the girl in the freaking shopping cart in the first place? Because, I mean, the girl is small enough to be sitting in the seat of the shopping cart after all. I mean, I believe that's what shopping carts are there for anyways. You know, to keep them sitting down and not to be running around the store, throwing tantrums, breaking things. So, hey, there's also that. So, I mean, these parents, they should have really thought better when it came to having this girl in the freaking grocery store. Like, Jesus Christ. So, anyways, on to the next topic. Now, let's talk about Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla. So, Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla own part of the year with their Hot Girl Summer Tour, and Billboard is recognizing them as the hottest 1-2 punch of female rappers for 2024. Alright, so the chart-thumping publication crowned Glorilla as the hottest, followed by Meg at the number 2 slot, above the likes of Lato, Sexy Red, and Doechii. Pretty impressive considering Glow was Meg's tour opener. Okay, so the Houston hottie started the year scorching with her first solo number 1 hit, The Hiss Diss, aimed at Nicki Minaj and her self-titled album. Okay, so she went on to give Glow an alley-oop on their smash collab Wannabe, which they later lobbed the remix to Cardi B, who anchors BB's list this year. And by BB, I mean Billboard. Okay, so anyways, this is really insane that Glorilla and Megan Thee Stallion are basically getting a lot of recognition by Billboard. But I think it's a really good thing that they're getting recognition by Billboard, because let's remember that Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla are hardworking rappers, and you know they've had a lot of hits this year, and they've been out and about doing a bunch of other stuff. And you know, I do believe that Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla, since they've been doing a bunch of stuff with their music, they're basically on point to becoming the next Nicki Minaj, to becoming the next Cardi B, or the next Eve, or the next, I don't know, Missy Elliott, because I do believe that when it comes to hardworking rappers like this, they're basically, you know, going out there, spreading music, going out there getting success. They're going out there receiving all of the love from the fans that have been supporting them, of course. And you know, if there's one thing that a lot of people love to listen to, is to a bunch of rap music, especially from these successful female rappers like Glorilla and Megan Thee Stallion, because let's be honest, Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla are really good rappers after all. So they really deserve their flowers after all. And it's really amazing, by the way, that we are seeing successful female rappers nowadays, because let's be honest, the rap industry for a very long time was dominated by men, and it has been a huge struggle for female rappers out there to actually put themselves in the successful game of being in the hip-hop business, because unfortunately a lot of people have been more focused on the music that has been by men, you know, like Drake, 50 Cent, Ice Cube, Post Malone, you name it. And now it's just so amazing that now we are hearing female names like Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla, Cardi B, of course, Nicki Minaj, you name it, out in the streets, out in the charts. So I believe that this is actually a really good direction for women in the female rap business, and I think that it's actually encouraging a lot of the new female rappers out there to actually put themselves out there, because they're definitely gonna feel more motivated into actually going out there, making music, and of course, you know, making success for all of the fans out there. So hey, this right here is actually very amazing that Billboard is recognizing Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla, so congrats to them. Alright, now on to the next topic. Now, let's talk about Drake. Okay, so Drake tops Spotify Wrapped #1 rapper 8 years in a row. Okay, so Drake had to fend off the 20 versus 1 attack in the 2024 Rap Wars, but the battles didn't hurt his Spotify streams. He's maintained his place on the throne for all rappers. Okay, so just today, Drake came in as the closest rapper to Taylor Swift's record-breaking Spotify Wrapped, making him the platform's top hip-hop draw for the 8th year in a row. So, while The Weeknd's fusion pop and Bad Bunny's Latin trap ranked higher overall, Drake was the platform's most streamed rapper on the global and United States artist charts. So, the stats are pretty remarkable considering he clashed with Kendrick Lamar, Future, Metro Boomin, and Kanye West this year, who all ranked in the top 10 most streamed rappers for 2024 in their own right. Okay, so the beef definitely fragmented the audience. Kendrick was Apple Music's #1 artist this year, largely thanks to his mega diss, Not Like Us, but Drake's 2025 is already looking golden. Alright.